It's time for Tournament in a Tea Break. You're listening to Ros Satar.
And George Bellshaw.
We had a day off because, quite frankly, George abandoned me for hospitality. But we're back with the semi-final lineup set, and it's turning out to be quite a good one. If the WTA had the bottom 4 seeds, we've been rewarded at the ATP for the top 4 seeds in the semi-finals. What say you, Bellshaw?
I think we've probably got the best possible lineup. I think not just in terms of the seeds, but in terms of matchups as well. I think they're quite nice, quite balanced. I think Anderson and Djokovic is a good clash of styles, like server, returner. I think Federer Zverev has produced some excellent matches in the past. And there have been question marks about both of their form, whereas Anderson and Djokovic have been pretty standout on the whole. So I am really intrigued. I think they're going to be good matches, but I think Djokovic and Federer.
I thought you were going to say Ferrer for a minute. It's like, whoa, what year have we gone back to?
Yeah, I think the big dogs will get it done, but.
You think so?
I think so.
I mean, I'm asking quizzically. I've actually just finished my preview of Federer, Zverev, and I think that the old man is going to nick it.
Yeah, you'd think so. I mean,
but I think he's going to have to work hard for it. I think Zverev is going to make him work hard. I've seen Zverev in a new light this week. I think he was spectacular. I think it's fair to say he was spectacular impressed today.
Yeah.
It's probably the most articulate and also the most relaxed in himself I've seen him outside of an all access, where they're much more relaxed because they're sat around a round table with all of us gathered around and it's not so formal. And he was as good as he was, in my mind, in Indian Wells, where he gave full, frank, very, very detailed answers and was really personable. And the couple of things that I want to take out of that was his answer about the schedule, and not that he's just packing them in, but actually he's obliged to play a number of tournaments at this point because he's still a youngster. He won't get the right to skip tournaments for quite some time. And also his thing about, I know what I want and I'm ambitious, and I actually think that this dynamic with Lendl is going to be very different and very exciting to what we saw with Murray, where Lendl helped him just find that extra edge that he needed to get over the line for a slam. But I think he could guide Zverev to greatness. I think this could be a long-standing one.
Yeah, I think that's very possible. I've always said of Zverev, I think he'll end up winning about 5-6 majors, which I think would be an excellent
I think that's
haul.
certainly achievable.
It's always hard to say how far these guys are going to go on or what they're going to go on to achieve, particularly with the big 4 dying out afterwards. But there
You make them sound like dinosaurs getting hit by a meteor.
They'll finally be extinct. But there. This week, the most notable brilliance this week has been his serve, and I thought the serve against Isner today was
outstanding.
Something remarkable. Like, to outserve John Isner for pace, on average in a match,
I know,
is crazy good, and hit more aces. Particularly that 143 mile per hour.
Was that to save set point?
Yeah. The only break point he faced. I mean, that was serious moments. And one thing he didn't mention in the conference, but the bloody decibel meter came on just before that. So it came on as it went to set point, and that'd been the first one of the whole set. And I mean, if he'd have lost that because of that stupid decibel meter.
What is that?
Oh, it does my head in.
Okay.
One woman today, a German lady, when it came on, she just looked around at everyone like they were the scum of the earth who was cheering it, and she just went, Scheiße. And I was like, yeah, my thoughts exactly. That is, you've nailed it. If one word could hail this farcical piece of stupid marketing, it is Scheiße to the decibel meter.
Are you done?
Yeah, just about.
Splendid. Okay, let's move on to... Oh, God, how do I follow that? Let's move on to... the old man, to Mr. Federer. He hasn't been that... Okay, so he's played better the last 2 matches. I've seen it. He was more animated than I've seen him throughout this week, and actually, arguably since Basel. He was humyetzing all over the place and like really, pumping and trying to strut himself up in that match against Anderson, where it sort of unravelled rather for our friendly neighbourhood South African. But I don't know. Is he just going to play better and better? I mean, I think we're heading for the top 2 seeds, but
I thought so.
I think I'd like to think that Zverev's going to make him work for it, though. I'd like to think that I predict that Zverev's going to take the first set and be strutting around and waving around. Although I did like that as well, that when he'd obviously been reading his scenarios when he took the first set, because the whole sort of getting the crowd engaged, because he's not really your man for getting the crowd going. But what difficulties do we think Federer might face?
I think Federer-Anderson's a good matchup for Federer on the whole. I think the one-handed slice backhand...
But he's not playing Anderson.
I'm just saying, in terms of his improved performance,
okay,
that's a good matchup for him. So I wouldn't read too much into that, even though he was slick. That's the sort of match you can find. He just sits back on that one-handed slice backhand, drops it deep low, makes this gentle giant bend down a lot, who's not so good at getting down to the ball. He moves quite well, actually, Anderson, these days, but still there is a little bit of kryptonite with it, particularly Federer. I mean, Federer's a master at that shot. Zverev is not going to work so much. He's a lot more flexible, a lot more bendy. These younger guys are a different breed in terms of the physical training they've gone through as big guys. They have always naturally moved well, whereas Anderson taught himself to move well in the last 5 years. So it's not so natural still. So I don't see that shot necessarily causing Zverev as many problems. I think Zverev, where I'd like to see him improve, he should be doing better on return games. He should be breaking more. I think he relies on that serve a lot.
He's becoming a bit Raonic-esque at times for me on that serve.
I think so, and he's good enough to break people better, and I've seen him go through very good long rallying spells against the top guys when he's in the right mood. But I'd like to see him just be a bit better off that. I don't know if it's whether it needs a bit more aggression or maybe a little bit more patience. I'm not really sure of a detailed analysis of where it's going wrong, but he should be doing better off the return because he's got the game to be taking out.
And he's got the flexibility as well. I mean, he's not quite as sort of Mr. Elastic as Djokovic, but he can bend himself into... He can get to balls in that kind of ungainly, lanky fashion. So I guess we're like writing off Kevin Anderson, but let's not be too hasty on him. He's got a lot to be proud of. I mean, this has been a great run for him. There's no shame if he goes out to the world number 1 and a 5-time champion here on his debut.
Yeah.
I think he should come away from this feeling awfully proud of himself.
Yeah, and if anyone can beat Djokovic here, I think Anderson's is best place to do it. I think when he serves perfectly, he's going to have a shot, and he's hitting. It's the follow-up shot off the serve, off both wings, that's better than guys like Isner. Djokovic was able to read the Isner serve and get it back in play, and if he got it back towards the Isner backhand side, then the bloke's screwed. He's lost the momentum. Anderson can follow through on that backhand a lot better. It's a cleaner shot. So there's a lot more about him. I just can't look past Novak, though. I mean, that's nothing against Kevin. I think Kevin's playing great, but Novak is the level now. What he's added from that serve and the first shot behind the serve to kill points on his service games is just sensational, and it's so worrying for everyone because he's become the best returner in the game, and now he's becoming one of the best servers and finishers. I
don't know whether to raise this now or whether we should do it tomorrow, but in fact, let's do it tomorrow. But I think just as a little opener for people, are we about to see another age of dominance? But let's leave that till tomorrow. But yes, your predictions are obviously
Djokovic in 2, tight 2, 7-5, 6-4.
Yep,
I've got not to be too precise.
I've got Djokovic in 2, Federer in.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I wrote now. I think I wrote in 3.
Yeah, me too.
I wouldn't like to say which way it'll go in each set, but I think he'll get over the line just about. I think Zverev's fatigue may get to him in the end, seeing as he's harping on about it. And for the record, I actually have been enjoying those debates.
Yeah. No.
Enjoying them. they're interesting. Lots of good sides.
There's a lot of things to come out, which again we might touch on at the end of the week. You have, of course, been listening to Ros Satar from Britwatch Sports
and George Bellshaw from Metro.co.uk.
Thank you for listening. Goodbye.